Hi long range honey, welcome back to a special video. This is a request from SWAT snipers, and that's hostage headshots. Now, we're talking about snipers here. This is a little bit different. I was requested to do this video by a SWAT sniper. Sent me the bullets that they're using in order to do this. Now, I want to cover a couple things. Again, this is generally directed at law enforcement. You can use fatal T shots or brainstem shots as far as hunting. I can dive into that in another video. I'm going to stick to topic on this one though. Now, contrary to popular belief, and this is well documented, snipers are not taught to aim for the actual skull itself. It's a hard round object. Bullets can deflect if it's not a true shot. Now, if you do get a good solid hit on it, can it cause cranial evacuation? Absolutely. Cranial evacuation is where the overpressure is literally opening up your head, or called canoeing your head. However, it can go terribly wrong, and when you've got somebody got a hostage, they've got a gun, a knife, something on them, they're holding a detonator, that's happened before, you need that individual to drop instantly. And the most effective way to do that is what's called a fatal T shot. Now, a fatal T is across the eyes and down through the nose to the mouth. Now, what you're aiming for and shooting through is actually what's called the brainstem. Now, that is going straight down here. The brainstem is what communicates from your brain to the rest of your body. So if I go to move my arm, there are signals going through my brain and telling my arm to do that. Taking a fatal T shot is a very effective way to take somebody down. If done right, it's going to cause that individual holding that hostage to turn into a sack of potatoes and drop. It is one of the most effective ways for a sniper to cancel somebody's birthday. For this test, I don't exactly have a bunch of people's brain stems laying around and neck bones, but I do have deer ones. And so I took a doe neck bone, everything in it, including the brain stem, cut straight from the base of the skull, and I put it in the back of this gelatin. Now, I could order head-shaped gelatin, but instead I just used a block and cut it to what I needed, as you're going to see in the video. So I'm going to take you to the field now, and I'll break this all down on the bullet performance after we get back. Hey everybody, we're doing a law enforcement test today. We're going to be doing a hostage shot simulation. We're using the correct gel size. It's not in the shape of a head, but I did my best. We've got our hat. We have a deer neck bone in the back here, brainstem and all, to simulate a human brainstem. You can see it's in the back. We got my beautiful bad guy here, you know, nice nose and everything. So we're gonna do this shot real quick and have some fun with some Sierra MatchKings. All right guys, as I said, we're doing a law enforcement test. This is a request from some SWAT snipers. Got the old M40 out, and we're gonna have some fun. Going hot. That hat makes it so much better. All right, guys, now this can be a problem. You can see there's just a small wound cavity. It was a perfect hit right in the top of the nose. You see it exited out the back here, went straight through. Even on the exit on the back, it's just a single hole. So what's called necking over, where the tip of the bullet actually fills the hollow tip, and it just either pencils through or starts tumbling. This one penciled through completely. Unfortunately, that's a reality, and with law enforcement, they can't drill it to make the hole bigger like we do. The tipped MatchKings they make are 100 times better, very similar to the ELD match. But since we got this set up, I'm gonna actually shoot it with an ELD match and show the difference. So here we go. All right, so we did the 168 grain CR MatchKing. It penciled through, tips filled. We're gonna do the same gun with a ELD match, 168 grain, and show the difference. Going hot. Major difference. All right, let's go check that out. Major difference. All right. All right, guys, we're down here at the target. Major difference. Not only did the bullet go in, expand, do everything it wanted, here's the gel block. Way over here is the actual neck piece. It obliterated it, and we even got splatter all over the back of all this. But as you can see, that was one straight piece, and it just obliterated it. That would be an incapacitating shot. Hell, it's even in the wood. Blew the hat off. Hat's still good. But you can see a major difference here in just that short period of time, how much expansion was done. And the fatal T is what you want to get. Now, that was my shot. Point of aim, point of impact. The eyes would be right here. That's that fatal T you want to go, is across the eyes and down through the nose to the mouth. Very small target, but ELD match, man. It does what it has to. That is awesome. That's gonna look awesome on the Tacticam. Now, as you saw, we used two different bullets. The bullets that he sent that they are using are gold medal match. They're 168 grain Sierra MatchKings. And what I was using is, after that, is a 168 grain ELD match. Now, you obviously noticed a big difference in performance. The Sierra MatchKing and bullets like it are notorious for shots like that, where you're going to get necking over. And what necking over, as I explained in the video, is the very small hole here fills with material, whether it's clothes, hide, whatever, and it's going to neck over. It's going to fill, and it's either going to pencil through, or that projectile is going to go in and start to tumble. Effectively, you're turning this bullet from a hollow point into a full metal jacket. Now, would that be a lethal shot? Yes, it would. Now, that whole section is about 2 inches thick on that bone, meat, and stem going through that piece of neck. Now, I know people are going to be, oh, well, there wasn't any facial bones up there, as far as the start of the gel. That's very true. However, when it hit the gel at high velocity, the impact velocity, this is the same gun, the same grain bullet, going at the same velocity with the same impact velocity, around 2,600 feet per second. Now, the Sierra MatchKing went straight through the gel without expansion, and it hit the brainstem. It hit the bone, went straight through, and even that back piece, that was just a sliver that I had to kind of help hold it in, and I taped it. And just that little piece of gel, even the exit hole on that showed little to no expansion. It was just a bullet hole. The meat had no real damage. It wasn't structurally damaged. There was that hole and a little bit of meat hanging out, but there wasn't any real significant trauma. I could see that it went through bone, and even on the backside, it didn't do any significant trauma. You can see there's not a lot of transition of energy into that, which is poor performance. Now, what a lot of hunters do is they take that bullet and they're going to open up that hole with, a 1/16-inch drill. There's other tools you can use, but opening up that hole does cost you a little bit on the BC. However, it gives you that reliable expansion. Unfortunately, law enforcement does not have that luxury due to lawyers and all the other BS that they have to go through. Simply modifying a bullet like that could land them in prison. Sounds stupid, but that's true. Now, you saw a major difference in those two bullets. This applies to both hunting and as far as law enforcement. The ELD match not only just obliterated it, but it launched that neck piece. Not only did it obliterate it, but it launched it hard enough into a steel target to make that steel target move. The other target that it didn't even hit had spray on it. It just obliterated. That was one section, it looked like this, and it's just folded open. It started opening up inside, and again, that's what you want, because there's a misconception that just because a bullet kills, it's good. Any bullet can kill, plain and simple. Any projectile launched at a high enough velocity expansion or not through an organ is going to ultimately, unless it can receive medical care like a human can, is not going to survive. And even then, there's still chances of not surviving. But the difference in performance is critical. Now, when you're a sniper and you're taking those headshots where you need to cancel somebody's birthday and drop them like a sack of potato, you want ultimate performance. Again, unfortunately, certain departments are going to issue what they're going to issue, and they don't have flexibility with that. If you are in a department and you have the option to switch, Sierra Tip MatchKing would be a really good one. ELD match, going to the tip bullet like this is going to not only give you that reliable expansion, and if you do hit a facial structure, if you do go through bone or something, it's going to just aid in that much more opening up and that much more transfer of energy. And here's the thing, if you're going on that fatal T and you get enough energy dump into this, guess what? It's going to cause the brain damage. This might sound strange, but bullets do weird things. I was talking with a buddy of mine where they were on their team. They went in to get a guy. Their sniper took a shot, and that bullet actually went in and deflected and barely missed that brainstem. It did the same thing as what that Sierra MatchKing did. I'm not sure what bullet they were using. It was similar to that, but they thought that guy was down, and he was back up and coming at them, and they ended up having to take him down. They ended up having to re-engage that individual. Luckily, nobody else got hurt, but a situation like that can turn out really bad. And that type of bullet, a Sierra MatchKing that does that and has a reputation for doing that on hostage shots, is something that I would recommend you avoid. So going with a good bullet is going to make a huge difference. And since you, as law enforcement, aren't allowed to modify it like a hunter can, I would recommend going with something that's going to give you better performance, more reliable performance, because somebody's life depends on it, but also is going to give you that forgiveness. Because even if that ELD match, when it's going through there and it starts to deflect, but it causes enough hydraulic shock going through there, it can still shut down that CNS. It can still cause damage. So there's still a possibility, if for some reason that bullet doesn't fly true through, it can still cause a fatal T shot and drop that individual dead on the spot. I hope this has helped as far as those guys out there. To the individual who sent me these, I know it's not quite the results you want. I knew what this was going to produce. I've used them before. I've even killed game with them. No matter whether it's a hunting bullet or it's a match bullet, there's good bullets and there's bad bullets. There's a reason that guys like me preach, you know, TMKs, ELD match, stuff like that. As far as performance, the results speak for themselves. Now, to you snipers out there, be safe out there. Keep kicking ass, keep taking names, and, you know, aim small, miss small.
It's not that hard, people.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notification bell so you won't miss out on any future video. And happy hunting.